What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. The government is reopened after 35 days of being shut down. And did an educator go too far by committing insurance fraud to help out a sick student? We ask you in a Pulse poll.
And we'll introduce you to a Maine teenager who has decided to let something that has happened to her inspire her to help others. This is News Center now.
I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government.
President Donald Trump and congressional leaders reached a short-term deal to reopen the government for 3 weeks while negotiations continue over the president's demands for money to build a wall at the U.S.-Mexico border. Good evening. I'm Cameron O'Brien.
And I'm Lee Goldberg. President Trump announced the agreement to break the 35-day impasse. The legislation would include back pay for some 800,000 federal workers who have gone without paychecks. After saying for weeks that he would not reopen the government without border wall money, President Trump said he would soon sign a bill to reopen the government through February 15th without any additional money for his signature campaign promise. Obviously, that is the big news of the day. We also know that it's going to get cold. So Jess Conley's off tonight, so Keith's filling in for her. So what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
How nice to see you.
There has been a lot of weather since I was last here, but today, relatively quiet. We got into the upper 30s, or 35 right now in Wiscasset, 34 in Portland, 32 in Lewiston, and 34 in Rockland. But to Lee's point, it will be getting a little bit colder here into the day tomorrow. Today was relatively mild. Satellite picture clean out there. We have some snow showers, though, that have popped up and moved into the mid-coast. Waterville seeing a snow shower too. And this is a theme we're going to see over the next few days. Our next major storm system comes in on Tuesday night. But in between that, we've got these little pieces of energy that are going to break off and give us snow showers. And that's possible over the weekend as well. In fact, you take a look at our hour-by-hour forecast. We start with a lot of sunshine tomorrow morning. It is colder than today, and you'll notice just a few snow showers try to pop up in the afternoon on Saturday, but more so on Sunday. I think Sunday we have snow showers and even some squalls in the mountains Sunday afternoon. Could add up to an inch or two in the high terrain, probably just some flakes farther downhill and into the coastline. Guys, as I mentioned, quiet for a while, but another storm, and what do you know? It's going to be a messy mixture again next week.
January is the best.
Thanks, Keith.
It's my favorite.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it. An Indiana school superintendent is facing charges of identity fraud after authorities said she used her own insurance to help a sick student. We want to know if you think this educator went too far to help a student. So vote on pulse.newscentermaine.com or hit the Pulse tab on our mobile app.
Dr. Casey Smitherman, the superintendent at Elmwood Community Schools in central Indiana, took a 15-year-old student to the doctor, then used her insurance and her son's name to get him a prescription. This is all according to court documents. Smitherman was charged on January 15th with insurance fraud, identity deception, and official misconduct. She was released on bail. Elmwood Community Schools school board president said in a Facebook post that Smitherman has its support.
Feel free to comment on our Facebook and YouTube live streams about the topic. We are definitely interested to hear a lot more.
This is an interesting one. I feel both ways.
Yeah,
I want my superintendent to be there for my kid. I mean, obviously, where were the parents? But if you want someone to care about the kids that much, that they would do that. But at the same time, they're breaking a law. So how do you do that for a precedent? So I'm interested to see what you guys think about this.
Absolutely.
So we'll check it out.
Speaking of Facebook, Facebook is making moves to crack down on its fake news. On its platform, the company is starting to shut down pages affiliated with people who violated the company's community standards in the past. The move comes after Facebook removed hundreds of Russia-linked pages and accounts last week. Facebook is also installing a new tab called Page Quality that will include content that has been rated false news by its third-party fact checkers. Page managers will be able to see removed posts, and if they think the posts were not in violation of Facebook's policies, they can appeal through Facebook's Help Center.
An Uber driver is speaking out after he says an apparently intoxicated passenger that he picked up last Saturday night tried to actually grab the steering wheel. Have you seen this? Twice on the highway in Sacramento.
Wow.
The video is unbelievable. The entire event was recorded, obviously, by a dash cam in the driver's vehicle. You gotta check this out.
This is the Uber karaoke.
So I have almost 6,000, so about 5,900 rides over the past 3 years.
What's this?
It's Albert Castro's side job.
I've met so many amazing people, and it's just been lots of fun. But you know, this obviously was not one of those rides.
Castro takes me back to last Saturday, his 5900th ride.
It's just like a normal other ride. Drunk guy on a Friday night, you know, on a weekend night. It was a Saturday, and he gets in the car. I have disco lights in my car like some of the Uber drivers have, and he thought it was great and fun.
Let me go through the dash cam video with you. The first few minutes start off okay with music playing, and then the passenger starts talking.
Hey, we're gonna crash. We're gonna crash. We're not gonna crash.
He says it all with a smile on his face. Then you see him trying to take over the steering wheel.
You touch my car like that. Don't do that again.
It was just an instant of panic, and I smacked his hand down and had him, you know, you sit there.
What? I said I have a wife and kids at home. You grab my steering wheel like that, we could die, man. I don't want to do that.
A few minutes later, he does it again.
We're going to South Sac. Man.
So, ma'am, so if you would like to communicate with us, our email addresses are on the city website.
You gotta let go, man.
You're welcome to email.
And I thought, okay, he's going to go to sleep. And then 5 minutes later, we were just south of the 5099 interchange, and he says, "I love you, brother," and reaches over with both hands and grabs the wheel.
The meeting can progress in a relatively timely manner.
Hello, you brother.
Sir, so
Hello,
please,
brother.
Start. Thank you.
I'm Jim Daniel, and
We're not gonna die, man, but you gotta let go.
That was like constantly going through my mind. This is how it ends. This is how I die.
But somehow, while still holding off the passenger, Castro was able to tap the panic button on his Uber app.
My emergency hazard's on in the middle of the freeway. No, I'm in a silver Ford Escape.
CHP came in and arrested the suspect for a DUI.
I'm still worried. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep driving. I definitely know that if it's a single rider, they're not sitting in the front seat anymore.
So it's just diverting the traffic.
This is the first time Castro has driven his car since that night. As for the passenger, Uber says he won't be able to use the app anymore.
Okay. Obviously crazy and awful, but
Yeah.
one question: why did he get 2 and 3 different turns to try to grab that wheel? I would have kicked him out after the first time. Like,
no,
why
and
even
when he
letting
was
him get to
doing
2 or
this,
3? Just
like this
pull
part, I was
over,
like, see,
goodbye. There's no amount of money that's worth it. But oh my goodness.
I'm just glad they're safe. That is so
Right?
scary. And it's never my first instinct. I always sit in the back.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure there were a lot of instincts involved
to begin
him
with,
at that
yeah.
point, so I feel like he was missing some of those.
Yeah, I'm
Not
glad
the
he's
driver.
not.
The driver's fine.
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad that passenger is never going anywhere near him again.
yes.
Every state has its bad drivers, but some are worse than others. And according to quote.wizard.com, okay, I totally agree with this. Maine is ranked as the state with the worst drivers.
Not true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not even true.
Absolutely.
Have you been to Maryland? The website
okay.
says that there's a drastic rise in traffic citations and fatalities, and that's what's to blame for Maine's jump from 7th worst last year to the worst this year. According to Maine.gov, there was an increase of more than 1,500 car crashes from 2016 to 2017. Michigan was the state that had the best drivers. That is fake news.
Well,
No
listen,
way.
people act crazy sometimes here on the roads in Maine. This is vacation land. Why is everybody tailing me?
Maybe they just want to say hi.
Okay. Well, did an educator go too far by committing insurance fraud to help a student? Let's see what y'all said. 54% say yes. 18% say no, it's a special circumstance, and 28% of you say, I wouldn't do it, but I get where it's coming from, and I totally respect it.
Yeah, and we want you to continue this conversation on Facebook. We're going to go over during the commercial break, and we'll have a little conversation about that. It's an interesting topic, and I can certainly see the arguments on both sides, so we will chat about that. All right, coming up on now, guess who's back? Maddie the intern. Yep, another edition of Senioritis Stories is coming up.
And we'll introduce you to one teen who isn't letting a hair loss condition get in the way of living her life.
Facebook.
What's up? Peacock, okay.
What is going on? Paul, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the story yet. Hey, Stephanie Smith, how are you? We're going to see your beautiful daughter in just a little bit. I haven't seen the story. I don't know where the parents were. I don't know why the superintendent felt it was necessary that she had to be the one to reach out and get this child medical care that he clearly needed. So I don't know that. But my first instinct when I saw the story was, where are the parents? And I'm assuming that they're not involved. Otherwise, the super would not be taking the kid to the doctor.
So the
and the parents or somebody.
Right, the parents weren't, and he doesn't. The student doesn't live with his parents. So,
but there's got to be a guardian. Somebody's in charge. I mean, So I don't know. I mean, we're gonna find out. We're gonna watch the story. But again, I love the fact that the super did it. I love that she's not apologizing for it. That she's like, I'm gonna be there for my students, and that's my job. But it's illegal, and she needs to get in trouble for that. So I think both is good lessons. I think both ways.
Yes, absolutely.
But I would certainly want her to be the super of my kids.
Oh,
you know,
hands
to
down,
know
hands
that
down.
she's willing to put herself in trouble to
help our kid. Yep.
100%. What's up, Big Fred?
Yeah, I'm not.
You want to split this up here?
Sure.
Not really a lot to split, but.
1 to 1.
Do you want to just say that means the return of senioritis stories?
Sure.
All right. All right, you guys are with us now over here. See how Cam and I are both wearing red today? Did not coordinate. Did not know that was going to happen. Total accident. Did you notice that President Trump was wearing a red tie today when he gave his speech? He's copying us.
Absolutely.
He's trying to be like us.
Be original. Like, come on.
Just saying. All right, Hannah. I understand that it was wrong. She committed fraud under the circumstances. Why is it being taken so hard? Fraud is fraud. I get it, and I know they wouldn't brush it under the rug. But somebody cared enough about that boy to take him, no matter what measure she had to go to.
Right.
Again, I kind of
And
agree.
if they let this case go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I guess it sets a precedent. So.
I agree with both sides, and that's not easy to do.
Right.
If you are a regular viewer of our program, which we obviously hope you are, then you know about Maddie the intern. She's been chronicling for us every single Friday what senior year of college is like, what parents should expect from their kids who are going through their last year of school, and she's now in her final semester.
Yeah, she just got back from break, so that means, guess what? We've got an edition of Senioritis Stories.
I don't know about you, but the first week of class is always the most stressful. This week, I had to rearrange my schedule, make sure I'm getting enough credit so I can graduate on time, met with advisors to go over my resume, LinkedIn, etc., and also try to find time to hang out with friends. Now, I wasn't going to do a segment this week just to give myself a little bit of downtime before the semester really starts. But Lee sent me an email from a viewer, and I thought her question was really important. She wrote, "Maddie, I was just taking a quick study break when I saw your story. I graduate in 4 months, and mostly I'm really excited, but in some ways I'm scared to death. Now, I personally am not a part of a lot of clubs like you, but I managed to hold down a full-time job while pursuing my degree in sociology. I guess my question is, how do you get through it? And also, do you know of a weekly blogger or a site I could go to when I need a little pick-me-up as I'm going through my last semester as a college student? Thank you, from Shannon in Aberdeen, South Dakota." Shannon, you're not alone. I also have feelings of anxiety when I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna do post-grad. But luckily, we have a couple more months to figure that out, so don't stress too much about it right now. As for what I do on a daily basis to get through my week, it's gonna sound silly, but I either set my bed or clean my room. Having this little sense of control really helps when I feel like my life is chaotic. I'll be honest, I don't really follow a lot of blogs, but I do follow accounts on social media that will post inspirational quotes, messages, or little stories that do help get me through my day. I also read a lot. Currently reading this book by Sarah Wilson. It's called First We Make the Beast Beautiful. I really recommend it if you're just needing a little reminder or seeing how people kind of get through their day one step at a time. Good luck, Shannon, on your last semester of college, and thank you so much for sending me your questions. I love seeing people's responses to this segment, so if you have any questions or a topic you'd like me to cover, please feel free to email me. I'm Madison Rayner, and I'll see you next Friday at 5.
Just watching her go through the list of things that are stressing her out. Now, it was a little bit longer ago for me than it was for you.
Right.
But I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I mean, the struggle is real.
It's so real. I remember my senior spring, the fact that you have to arrange your credits to make sure you graduate.
Yeah,
like, you have to have enough credits, because if you don't, guess what?
You don't
You're
want to get to May and be like, what do you mean I don't get, I'm not invited to that part. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so she's definitely right. And I'm glad people reached out to her. Keep reaching out to her. She's so great to talk to, especially if you're in college or going to college. She's got the 411 for you.
We want to weigh in on our pulse poll. As you're looking at the results, I want to read a comment that came in from Hannah, who says, I understand that she committed fraud under the circumstances. I don't really understand why it's being taken so hard. It's awesome that somebody cared enough about that boy to take care of it, no matter what measure she had to go to. And our conversation does continue on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube live stream as well. And as you can see, 50% of you saying, you know what? It was too far. She did other ways she could have helped. 19% say no, it was a special circumstance, and 31 say I wouldn't do it, but I do respect the fact that she was willing to do it for them. All right, coming up, we will meet a teenage girl who will absolutely be an inspiration to all.
And Keith Carson has her full weather forecast. What's he say on the board? Lee, that's right. Lee did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I know you missed me, Lee.
Fred, your ankle's feeling. Fred's ankle's feeling better.
All right, Fred.
All is
That's
well.
right. All right, Fred.
All is well.
I'm glad.
With Fred's ankle. Hi, Stephanie Smith. Are you ready? Your girl is up next.
I'm still not over this Uber thing.
I can't believe I saw that the other day and I was like, no, what is
And
happening?
what if you were an Uber pool?
Why are you giving him 3 chances to do that?
I don't know, maybe
like
there's...
after the first time, pull over, goodbye, get out of my car, walk home, see you later. Like,
yeah.
You're not going to put, I'm not putting my
I wonder if there's some policy about that.
Wife and children, well, come on.
Well, yeah, and that, that
it's
instance, it's
forget. You make a few dollars.
Right,
like,
right,
I'm not
right.
gonna let somebody run my car off the road for that, so.
Oh. All right.
Where are we at?
Newsroom.
Oh, okay. We're heading to the newsroom, kids.
Yeah, if I was an Uber pool.
Stephanie, don't be nervous. It came out good. At least I think it came out good. Let me know what you think after you saw it. So we're going to ad-lib the open here.
Okay.
So really just about, I'm going to ask you a question. I just want you to answer it.
Sure. Go for it. Man, if I was an Uber pool, like if I was riding,
that's a crazy video.
Right?
I would have popped him. Hands down. I would have been like, you're not going to risk my life on this Friday night. We're going to live. Okay, we're living. You know. Both of us would have had to go to jail. Oh, right, because I'm short. Thank you. That's all right. I'm all right with it.
Embrace it.
I'm totally.
Embrace it.
That's right. My hamstrings are sore.
Did you hear that, Facebook?
Cam's hamstrings are sore. You got any stretches?
She's getting old.
Help a sister out.
She's getting old.
That's right. 24, going 84.
I think my socks are 24. All right, you can speak to this far better than I can. Being a teenage girl in high school, easy or not really easy?
The hardest thing I've ever done.
So imagine being that teenage girl in high school, dealing with regular things, but having to deal with a lot more as well. Check this out. Mahala Smith was diagnosed with alopecia when she was just 5 years old. The condition makes your immune system attack your own hair follicles. This causes hair to come out, often in clumps, and the amount of hair loss is different in everyone. Mahala would only lose her hair in some spots at first, and it was relatively easy to cover up as it eventually grew back. In some cases, all of your hair will fall out. This happened to Mahala last year.
Only 2% of the world's population has alopecia, so it's a very small percentage, so people do automatically assume that it's cancer.
Alopecia is far more inconvenient and annoying than it is painful. Mahala played on the boys' football team at Oak Hill and was on a state title-winning squad. She was named the Junior Volunteer of the Year for the Sabattis Fire Department and is a key member of the Oak Hill High School softball team as well. The hardest thing for Mahala to come to terms with was her sudden change in routine.
It was disappointing in a way because all my other friends would always do their hair, and hair is a big part of a teenage girl's life, and to not have that or not be able to do that or not have my friends braid my hair at school anymore was hard. This is my friend from school, the guy's hair that was really long, really thick. Surprising he had that much.
As her senior project, Mahala decided to collect donated hair and money for the organization Children with Hair Loss. Good quality wigs can cost around $5,000. Mahala's goal is to go to San Diego in March for The Great Cut, a national event hoping to break a world record by raising a total of $200,000.
I like to help people. That's just always how I've been. So I figured if I could help people that were like me, it'd be even better. And there's a bunch of children that just don't have hair, and that really means a lot to me since I can connect to all of them.
I mean, and as she talked today, I was just sitting there going, okay, overachiever, overachiever, like this is not slowing her down even a little bit. So
awesome. No, way to go. That's wonderful.
Right?
I'm glad she's helping out.
All right, sir. We're so glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But let's see, what happened since I was last here? It snowed.
Snow.
It was really cold.
I know you took off right before the big storm.
Really cold.
That was cool.
Yeah. I hid in the one place it was a big storm. The mountains.
I saw your wife complain that you made her go skiing.
Yeah. It was cold. I'll say that. If you had the right gear, it's not too bad, I guess. All right, 39 officially in Wiscasset, 39 in Portland today. Today was actually a pretty nice day. Finding creative ways to produce ice, though. We're melting snowbanks, and then it's icing over as it's going to overnight tonight. Couple of snow showers out there. They were largely in western Maine and the mountains of New Hampshire at first, but now they're ranging all the way into parts of down east Maine. So a flurry snow shower. I did get a report or two that these are strong enough in the squalls to put down a coating on the road. So just be aware of that as the night continues. Hour by hour forecast kills these off, and so they'll be kind of diurnally driven, which is driven by the sun over the next couple of days. So we start with clear skies, and then tomorrow afternoon a couple more snow showers pop up. I don't think the coverage is that great, but they do pop up. They die down overnight Saturday, and then Sunday the same thing happens. We start with sun, we end up with more snow showers and snow squalls on Sunday afternoon. Some of these squalls on Sunday afternoon could put down an inch or two in the mountains, so just watch out for that. They'll be happy about it. Most of us, though, upper 30s by Sunday afternoon, just an isolated flurry here and there, and then we're clear and cool on Monday and wait for our next storm system, which looks to move in on Tuesday. And has been the theme this winter, right, where we can't get any really clean storms that are way offshore and all snow or anything like that. And I think, again, Tuesday night into Wednesday, we've got a complicated mixed situation with a bulb of energy coming from the west here that's going to start as snow late Tuesday night, Wednesday. It may stay as snow in the mountains and interior through Wednesday and then change to rain along the coastline Wednesday afternoon. But as you know, and as you saw at the last storm, the exact details of that won't really be in focus until 2 or 3 days ahead of time. But there is a storm to watch there on Wednesday. At this point, it looks like a mountain jackpot, but we'll keep an eye on that, and then things clear out on Thursday. Quick little side note here, Lee, I know you're not coming down to this one. You've done all the Super Bowls. There's just too many. But look at this front coming in to Atlanta on Tuesday and Wednesday for all the people going down there, including our team. It is going to be the coldest air of the season. In fact, it could snow not once, but twice in Atlanta over the next week. And that brings a smile to Lee's face, the likes of which I have not seen in a while. interesting side note to that, of course, is that could become one of the big stories of the week if it happens, because such an influx of people, and like literally cars get caught on fire in Atlanta when it snows an inch.
What could possibly go wrong?
So I'm a little interested in that. We'll see what happens.
See, now you're interested. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30, we'll talk a lot, obviously, about the temporary solution to the government shutdown, the partial government shutdown. Also today, the Federal Aviation Administration reported delays in air travel because a slight increase in sick leave at 2 East Coast air traffic control facilities.
People who want to legally buy and sell marijuana in Maine will have to wait a bit longer. We'll tell you why. That's all at 5:30. And we're going to be right back after this with some brain drugs.
All right. Michelle had a great comment. I have to use your mic, sorry.
No.
Insurance fraud and the HIPAA laws that she broke should not be excused just because she had good intentions. Absolutely not okay. That's a good point.
That's a good point. People loving your story, Lee. That young woman was amazing. Kathleen says, such a great kid. Hannah, you are an amazing inspiration. Yes, Gloria says, what an amazing young lady. Wasn't she awesome?
Yeah, she was. I mean,
and alopecia's, I can't imagine, you know, especially teenager hair for all teenagers is everything.
And she talked a lot, and her mom too, about people are just constantly, especially when she was littler, coming up to her and going, you know, oh no, like you must have cancer. Because when you see a bald child, that's the first thing that goes to your head.
Right.
So good intentioned people who were just trying to, you know, give their sympathy and empathy to you, and she's like, I'm actually fine. Like, I just lost my hair.
You're right. And the point of wigs being expensive. Wigs cost a fortune.
$5,000.
A fortune.
If you want, you know, a good one. You know. So,
I mean.
And she's raising money, and she made that a senior project, and hopefully she'll get her to San Diego, and she'll be able to be a part of that great event.
Oh, good. That's great.
There you go. Isaac, how much time? So how much time do we have for the pulse poll? All right, so can I read that comment, or? Okay, I'll do that. Kim, I'll read the comment coming out of the break, and then you can give the updated results, if that's cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to KC.
Oh, I got it. Thanks, so.
Sure.
Sometimes I can do it quickly.
Can you see the results in the monitor? Or just have Isaac tell you if you need to.
Yeah, I can kind of like peer over.
We got an email asking that Jess do the brain drops when I'm not here. Jess is like, yeah, thanks for the note. No. He said it in a very complimentary way, you know.
Maybe I don't know the answer to that one.
Hannah, wigs cost a lot because it's an industry, you know, just like anything else, really. And the better quality hair, the longer it lasts. So that's why they're expensive.
Plus, you got to kill all those people for the hair.
Right.
All right, we're going to take a quick look at our pulse poll results here. And we have a comment from Michelle on our Facebook feed. Insurance fraud and the HIPAA laws that she broke should not be excused just because she had good intentions. Absolutely not okay.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. And 54% of you guys are saying yes, you know, that's not okay. 30% of you saying I wouldn't have done it, but I understand why she did it. So totally understand.
Thank you guys for the conversation and for the votes.
That was a good pulse poll.
It was, right?
That was a tough one.
It is a tough one.
All right, brain drops. Today, we're going to rag on somebody here in politics, but I try to avoid in general. But so AOC, big name right now, right? Big in the Twitter world. So she is now on record as saying millennials are aware that the world is going to come to an end in 12 years if we don't stop climate change. Exactly.
12.
So I say this to both sides, and this is why
I have work to do.
I say this
I was just born.
I say this to both sides, and it's apolitical in this way. Let scientists do science, okay? Because this is the wrong message. This is not an accurate message. In fact, go to our next article. Climatologists need PR people. They're going and they're trying to get on record saying, no, this is not. You're not saying this right. What she means to say, and what a lot of people have tried to say in these doomsday scenarios, is we may be running out of time to correct it for the future. But when you give these kind of doomsday scenarios, it discourages people from acting, number one. And number two, it puts you in a position, if it's not understood, that in 12 years, the world is not likely to end. And so you're going to just discredit all this great science that they've been doing for 60 years because you want the headline. You want the, you know, and I think as a scientist, it's really tough. In fact, really quickly, have you ever heard of David Viner? Don't feel bad. I hadn't heard of him until I became into climate change. 18 years ago, David Viner is a climatologist in the UK, gave an interview in a relatively small newspaper in which he said snow will become a thing of the past. It got quoted so many times and linked so many times by climate deniers, they had to take it off the website because it was shutting down their server.
Wow.
These are the kind of statements you just can't do. And although he was right that there was less and less snow every year, he's not saying it the right way. So we just need to be careful about all of that doomsday stuff.
Like 1999 turning to 2000 and how Y2K was going to be a
I was
problem.
waiting for the world to end.
We all sat by our computers.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Oh, nothing.
So the better message there would have been we might have some problems.
Sure.
The better message here is we will have problems down the line if we don't fix
But
it.
think about how much money people made off the Y2K stuff,
I know,
too.
I know.
Right? Not me.
I didn't make
should have
anything.
thought of
Me
that.
neither.
I was too little.
All right, news. I wasn't.
5:30.
5:30 starts
Watch
right
it, watch it.
Coming up.
Bye, Facebook. Have a good weekend.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.